The white settlers weren't the first to realize the abundance of Anacortes. Native peoples had lived here for thousands of years.
This particular place is called Lone Tree Point by the tribes. It's almost like a sacred place for us because that for thousands of years this is where the fish school up. Deception Pass is to the left of us here, and a lot of the salmon that head up towards the Skagit River, which is to the south of us here, they come and school up in here, and they mill around for quite a while they're eating and gaining their strength to head up the Skagit River to get ready to spawn. And it's an opportunity to do what we did for thousands of years from time immemorial is the name that we call ourselves are the salmon people. We built our whole cycles around the salmon. When the fish were running, that's all we did was fish. You know, we didn't do anything else. So it's like when the salmon are running from June to November or December. This is what we did. And then towards the winter time, after the fish got running in November, December, that's when the weather started getting cold and everything, that's when we retreated to our longhouses and paid attention to took care of our spiritual needs. We had our ceremonies, telling of our family histories, the myths and the legends that had moral value for our young people. Everything we did was spiritual. The gathering of food was spiritual. We always thanked the salmon. We always thanked the deer. We always thanked the elk. We always thanked the clam and the crab for helping provide for us, you know.
Spaniards were the first white men to explore the region.
Carrasco, sailing under orders from Quimper, sailed north from near the Port Townsend area, sailed past Deception Pass, named it Boca de Flan, and continued to sail probably as far north as the opening to Guaymas Channel. The Spaniards first named the strait that is presently Rosario Strait, Boca de Fidalgo. The name Fidalgo was eventually applied to Fidalgo Island.
The Spanish came to visit rather than to stay. Not so the next wave of immigrants, the Americans and the Europeans. The newcomers needed a little help from the locals.
Well, at first when the white man came out here, he was pretty helpless. He didn't know the ways of the Northwest. One of the outstanding aspects of the people here in the Northwest is wanting to be good neighbors. We're a peaceful people. So we supplied the salmon for the early settlers so that they could survive the winter. And we showed them how to live here, you know. So we helped each other out. We were grateful for the goods that they brought out, especially iron, you know, and the tools. Although we are still very traditional people, I would say, that we're not averse to progress.
In 1876, Amos and Annie Curtis Bowman reached Fidalgo Island. Amos surveyed the waterfront. He liked what he saw.
On examining the harbor for terminal purposes, which was the first work I did here, I was agreeably surprised to find every condition around Anacortes Place nearly perfect. And in the spring of 1877, I purchased it from Miss Maud Stevens of Boston, a sister of General Hazard Stevens, for the sum of $1,000.
Amos was a visionary. He could see a town carved from the forest, a big town.
Amos Bowman described it as it was going to be the New York of the West. And when they laid out the city, they laid it out to be the same size as the city of Boston.
If he was a visionary, he was also a romantic. He named the town of his dreams after the woman he loved, Annie Curtis.